Well, welcome to viewers throughout New Zealand. In my hand is the 1986 Caulfield Cup. The cup itself is worth $2,000. The race itself is worth $500,000 Australian dollars. On my left is Roy Higgins, 11 times champion jockey of Victoria. Roy, well, you've got replicas of this one at home, haven't you?
I've got a small one at home, Keith. Actually, a bit under unusual circumstances. Mine was one on protest back in '69 on Big Falua, run second, and I won a Caulfield Cup on protest. And I have a miniature of that at home. And
right, that was the day that Missouri, ridden by Des Lake, was first past the post. But that was yesteryear. Caulfield Cup Day 1986. Leading the parade, carrying #1 saddlecloth, is last year's winner, the Melbourne mare Tristark. Tristark again being ridden by Wayne Trelaw. On the Victorian TAB, she's a 38-1 chance.
Her form of recent has been disappointing, Keith. She won the Cup last year, as you mentioned. They rode her upside down, I felt, last week in an endeavour to beat the mighty Bone Crusher. It didn't work. She faded badly towards the end. Just a query whether this gallant young mare has really come up this time in.
There must also be a query on the fitness of the Sydney galloper Drawn. Drawn is going into the race having only had a 3-race preparation.
Well, Drawn, unfortunately, on arrival here in Victoria, pricked his foot, and he was to race against Bone Crusher last Saturday and in the weight for age race. He just wasn't quite ready for that. They've had to sort of try to prepare him in the last week for a very grueling 2,400 metre race. This chap is a real genuine racehorse, a mighty midget, nothing of him. He's just all heart. If Pat Hyland can get an easy ride on him, get him tucked away in and cover him up, don't be surprised if Drawn is still not good enough to pull it off.
Well, stayers have come from everywhere in an attempt to win this Caulfield Cup. #3, Atalak, has come from Europe. He was 4th in the English Derby as a 3-year-old. He was a great 4th last start in the Herbert Power Handicap, and Roy, he drops 4 kilos on that run.
Was a good run. He looked at the home turn as if he was going to win the Herbert Power, cruised up to the lead. The effort just told towards the end of the race when he dropped off a bit and ran 4th to lighter weighted horses. His first attempt at 2,400 whilst here in Australia. That run would have brought him to his top. If we can go back and remember his start prior when he pressured the great Bone Crusher at one stage, he surely from barrier 1 is going to be given the run of the race by our leading rider Michael Clark, and he's going to be somewhere in it at the finish.
Atalak is a little better than 7-1 on the tote. #4, Our Sophia, runner-up last year. Today's tote odds 24-1.
Here's another one. Both Tristark and Our Sophia fought this race out last year, but their form this time in has been disappointing. Her last run, Our Sophia, only beat half the field home in the Turnbull behind just now. Had every chance that day. Prior to that, only beat a few home behind Bone Crusher here in the Underwood. She's probably coming along, but at this stage it does appear to be too slow.
#6, Mr. Lamondi, is the ruling Melbourne Cup favourite. Most people think this track, this distance might not suit him. We'll be talking and looking at him after we have a look at the Filbert. He was ran in this race last year, and of course then he went to Japan. But on screen, Mr. Lamondi.
Mr. Lamondi, his last run, only beat 4 home in the weight for age in New Zealand. He's a very good horse, this fellow. Winner of the Adelaide Cup. I believe probably the big Flemington track, the big sweeping turns and the 2,300 metres, 3,200 metres of the Melbourne Cup will suit him down to the ground. But it'll be good to have a look at him today. We'll get a better guide what chance he does have in the Melbourne Cup after today.
Mr. Lamondi is a 35-1 chance. We might pop back to the Filbert now, Roy. He opened at 18-1, and he's still at those tote odds. The Filbert, as I mentioned, was placed in the Japan Cup last year.
He's been struggling a little bit here this time, the Filbert. His last 3 runs, it wasn't a bad second at Moonee Valley behind Dazzling Duke. That was indicative of better things to come, but unfortunately his next 2 runs, both against mighty Bone Crusher, but he was beaten 6 and 8 lengths on both occasions in finishing 4th and looked to be struggling. Back to handicap conditions, possibly he's there with a chance because he's a great old trier, this fellow.
The rug is off the Filbert, and Victorian jockey Gary Murphy being legged into the saddle. From New South Wales, #7, Rising Fear. He's trained by Larry Pickton, also known as a cartoonist. But there's nothing to laugh about on Caulfield Cup Day. Rising Fear is a 30-1 chance.
He could easily be one of the pacemakers in this race. He's a horse that likes to get things his own way. He'll either lead or run up near the speed. His last run in the Metropolitan, he made a lot of pace, was ridden hard early to get into that position. Run quite a good 3rd behind Born to be Queen. Prior to that, had won the Colin Stevens Stakes over 400 metres at Randwick. And he's a very fit horse. He'll keep bowling.
8 Born to Be Queen, the mare you mentioned, Roy. She was placed in the Victoria Derby as a 3-year-old. There she's on screen.
And she's a beautiful, strong mare, this mare. Probably the way she likes to race could be probably better suited by Flemington around the big turns once again. But her win in the Metropolitan Handicap was very impressive, very strong at the end of the race. She's come right at the right time, and she's sure to give you a great sight.
She's a 12-to-1 chance on the tote. Number 10, Indian Raj, one of the major fancies. The odds slightly better than 7-to-1.
At his last start, he was beaten by Born to Be Queen in the Metropolitan Handicap. Well, most of the critics said that Jimmy Cassidy went too far from home, shot him clear coming up the rise at Randwick, was only to be run down by a very good mare in Born to Be Queen. Probably he's always going to be up there around about the pace. He'll give you a great sight. Drawn barrier 17, not a good barrier, but if Jimmy has a bit of luck early, coming down the straight the first time, which is a bit of a helter-skelter here at Caulfield, if he gets into a nice posse, he'll give you a great sight.
Number 10 is Indian Raj. And also 11 is Periscope. Periscope, a stablemate of Indian Raj. One of 3 runners from the Brian Mayfield Smith stable.
Another one of Mr. Robert Sanks's. They have from Swettenham Stud. They have already won 2 races here today, and this, after his run in the Coonji Handicap on Wednesday, he certainly come right into calculations for this race. It was a very impressive win. He did have the run of the race, and it looked as though that run could have improved him for this. Probably the 2-4 at this stage might be a bit of a test, but he's only got 52 kilos on his back, and he's got Harry White aboard, who's already won 3 of these.
Right, just now to be ridden by Darren Gauchi, a last start winner of the Turnbull Stakes. She is a top race mare from Queensland. Let's join Darren Gauchi now to discuss the chances of Just Now.
Well, Darren, a bit of a run of outs at the moment, but wouldn't it be nice to come out of it in the Caulfield Cup?
Yes, it would be. You know, I've got a very good mount this year, and doesn't matter how the track is, she handles both tracks, and well, I couldn't be more happy with her, the way she's turned out by Miss Atkins and also the Strapadarrell for the Cup.
Does it worry you that you're obviously going to be a fair way back early, because Caulfield Cups aren't often won by horses that come from a long way back?
No, well, you know, the Caulfield track is a bit of a worry, and well, last year the Cup's run similar to last year, where Tristar come from second last, and well, if it's run similar to last year, I feel I'll be right in the race.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks.
Darren Gauchi, the rider of Just Now. Your thoughts on this mare's chances, Roy?
She's a great mare. Probably her problem is that she's going to be one of the tail enders for the majority of this race. She comes home very strong. I just feel she'd be better suited by Flemington, the 3,200 metres of the Melbourne Cup, but don't be surprised if this mare comes right home over the top of them.
13, Mike Tristram's Bell from New Zealand. She's had 3 wins. They've all been on rain-affected tracks.
A very good third here at her first appearance this time behind Mighty Bone Crusher. Made up good ground in the straight. She's coming along in the right direction. Does prefer track a little bit heavy.
She's a 26-to-1 chance. Number 14, Samara. Malcolm Johnson gave up a full book in rides in Sydney today for 1 ride at Caulfield on Samara.
Samara is a very good mare, winner of the Adelaide Oaks. A very good third at the last appearance here behind Just Now in the Turnbull Stakes at Flemington. Was always in a winning position. She would have been improved by that race, and as you mentioned, Malcolm Johnson give rides away in Sydney today to be here to ride her, so that is speaks volumes for her chance.
15, Farristan, one of the favourites. The tote odds a little better than 6-to-1. Shane Dye, the rider.
Very impressive winner here of the Herbert Power Handicap last Saturday. Run second in the Turnbull, just caught by Just Now at his start prior to that. Born barrier 3. He'll always be in the first 4 or 5, and he'll give you a great sight.
Number 16, another of the favourites, Kenny Lass. Little better than 6-to-1. She's being ridden by John Marshall, the Sydney-based rider. Can she run a mile and a half? That's the question. Perhaps John Marshall might help us with that answer in this interview.
Well, John, you saw just how good Kenny Lass was last week, and you must be tremendously confident going into today's race.
Well, certainly I think you have to be confident, especially seeing she's got so many things going for her, the 49 and a nice barrier draw. She has been placed over the 1.5 miles, so you would think that she wouldn't have any trouble running it out. Now she's a year older and a bit stronger.
And the barrier draw is perfect, too?
Yes, I think it's a lovely barrier draw for her. She's going to be where I want her to be, and always in the firing line. Just
where will you be, about midfield or better?
Well, possibly a little bit better than midfield, I'd say.
What do you see as your main dangers?
Well, I've mainly seen most of the Sydney gallopers, and of them I'd say Indian Raj is probably the hardest to beat.
John Marshall, and presently he is behind the barrier on Kenny Lass. 17, Imprimatur, a 3-year-old from Sydney. Tote odds 50-to-1.
beat the very promising Drought in the Championship Stakes at his last start. Led all the way on that particular occasion. He's one of the lightweights. It's always going to be up in the firing line. He has drawn barrier 16, but the lightweight could offset that, and Peter Shepherd's riding very well.
Another 3-year-old is number 18, Tristram. He's a Victorian. He finished second in the Caulfield Guineas last start. His tote odds today, 21 to 1.
He's another horse that ran third in the Championship Stakes over 2,000 metres at Randwick. Back to Victoria, where he is trained here by Jeff Murphy. Finished very fast to run second to Aberidi in the Caulfield Guineas last Saturday. He's got a bad barrier, but he's a very promising colt.
Number 19, Colour Page, a 25 to 1 chance. I think Colour Page has a great chance in the race. He's one of Brian Mayfield Smith's 3 runners.
Yes, Keith, he's your choice, and with good reasoning too. He's 2 starts ago was a good winner at Rosehill. Last start he ran 4th in the Epsom, made up a stack of ground over a difficult 1,600 metres, suited by the 2-4.
Special comments from Roy Higgins. We'll take a commercial break and then back for the running of the 1986 Caulfield Cup. And to be called to the barriers for the running of the 1986 Caulfield Cup. The first to move in is Atalac, the imported stallion. He's trained by Colin Hayes. That's the scene at the start. Let's join Australasia's great race caller, Bill Collins.
And so they move in with rain falling. At Telek and Mr. Lamondi in 1 and 2. Our Sophia goes into stall 11. Farristan moving up now into stall 3. Tristark is ready, last year's winner. Samara coming up. Periscope has gone into 12. The Filbert coming up into stall 5. So we've got At Telek on the inside from Mr. Lamondi, Farristan, Samara, the Filbert. Out in 10, Tristark, Our Sophia, Periscope, Colour Page, and going into line out there now is Rising Fear. Imprimatur goes in. Just now comes up to 6. Canny Lass walking forward. Indian Raj coming up to 16. Goes in. Waiting on My Tristram's bell. Tristram. Canny Lass. And Drawn. Tristark a little bit toey in 10. Still waiting on these 4 to make a move to come forward, or these 5 there are. 5 of them to come up. Now Canny Lass is moving in. It's ready. My Tristram's bell goes up. Waiting on Drawn, Tristram, and Born to be Queen. Rain has just about stopped. Tristram is set. Born to be Queen comes in. Drawn's going to be the last one. Now Drawn, being led forward to stall 9, goes in, and the field is ready for the Foster's Caulfield Cup of 1986. They're settling. The light goes on. Stand. Racing. And over near the inside, Farristan jumped in the air, lost 2 lengths. Mr. Lamondi first out from At Telek. Then the Filbert Samara, getting away well, Canny Lass, and the Imprimatur coming from the outside, withdrawn towards the leaders. Tristram going up quickly with Rising Fear, and then Born to be Queen, followed by Tristark. Next is Periscope, and then came Our Sophia from Colour Page, the outside. Indian Raj back second last, and last out of the straight is Just Now. They head towards the 2,000 metre mark now, and Imprimatur the leader from Mr. Lamondi. Rising Fear going up to join them. Canny Lass is 4th. At Telek 5th on the rails from the Filbert Tristram, and Drawn a length of Farristan. Then on the outside is Periscope, and a length and a half further back Samara. Then My Tristram's Bell, followed by Colour Page, Our Sophia, 2 to Born to be Queen, Tristark. Then came Indian Raj, and last of all is Just Now. At the 1600, and Rising Fear's gone out about 2.5 lengths to Imprimatur. 2 to Mr. Lamondi, 1 to Canny Lass. At Telek on its inside, a length to Tristram. Half a length to the Filbert, Farristan on the inside of the next bunch, followed by Periscope. Then came on the outside of those horses now Samara, making a little bit of ground. Our Sophia is in the centre. Drawn has improved from My Tristram's Bell. A length and a half Colour Page. Page. Then came at the head of the rest then, would be over on the inside is Tristark. It was followed by Indian Raj, Born to be Queen being hard ridden, and just now at the rear, 20 off the lead. 1100 to go. Rising Fair a half length to Imprimatur. On the outside, Mr. Lamondi moving up 3 deep. At Tallack having the run of the race from Canny Lass, and then came the Filbert. About a length further back in the field then is Tristram from Drawn. Faristan badly needing a run from Periscope. Then Samara a length and a half further back. Our Sophia, Colour Page, Tristark, Indian Raj is boxed up from Tristram's Bell, and 3 lengths to Born to be Queen and just now. 700 to go, and here Mr. Lamondi headed off Imprimatur, who's in second placing. On the outside, the Filbert's putting in its challenge from Canny Lass 4 deep. At Tallack trying to get out, so is Faristan, Drawn, Tristram. They're followed then by Periscope at the head of the others from Samara and Our Sophia, and then Colour Page. Into the straight, Mr. Lamondi shot clear. At Tallack's got out, going after him now. On the outside of them is the Filbert. Faristan starting to run on under the whip, and then came Periscope and Tristram. Mr. Lamondi clear with 200 to go from At Tallack. They're well clear then of Faristan and Tristram, but Mr. Lamondi in front with 100 to go, and he's going to win the Caulfield Cup. Mr. Lamondi wins by a little over 2 lengths to At Tallack. Our Sophia got third on the outside, just in front of Tristram. They were followed by Periscope and Indian Raj and Faristan, then Colour Page. Born to be Queen next. Canny Lass dropped right out of it from my Tristram's Bell and the Filbert. Then came Samara. Imprimatur was next, and one of the last to finish is Tristark withdrawn. Official placings for the Foster's Caulfield Cup of 1986. Number 6, the winner, Mr. Lamondi, ridden by D.M. Walsh. Number 3 is second, At Tallack, ridden by M. Clark. The judges call for a photo for third placing. And this rests between Our Sophia, who finished strongly on the outside, in fact has got third after the photo. Number 4, Our Sophia third. It's 6, Mr. Lamondi first. 3, At Tallack second. 4, Our Sophia third. 4th was Tristram rather. And 5th in the event, number 11, Periscope. But a brilliant winner, Mr. Lamondi, who was always handy. He's paid on the Victorian tote $17.65 and $4.90. At Tallack, $1.55, and Our Sophia, $3.40. They are Victorian tote dividends on the Foster's Caulfield Cup. And certainly all honours were with the winner. He was just too good for them, Mr. Lamondi. And this is a fellow that can stay all day. Remember, he's won the Adelaide Cup, the 2-miler. Great ride again by Michael Clark, who gave At Tallack every chance, and he's run a good second, and Our Sophia has battled on for third. A few disappointments in the race. The time, incidentally, was 2:30.1. Born to be Queen never ever got going, really, at any stage of the race. Indian Raj didn't have a lot of luck in running. Periscope battled on pretty well. Faristan missed the start a couple of lengths, reared in the air, but got into third placing in the straight and just couldn't go on with it, and Canny Lass just failed to stay. So the numbers 6, 3 and 4 in the Foster's Caulfield Cup. There's Mr. Lamondi being brought back to scale. He's by Noble Bijou from Loma Lass. Raced in New Zealand, of course. Came over here under Bart Cummings' care for the Adelaide Cup, which he won in great style. And a brilliant fast-staying performance in today's Caulfield Cup. Mr. Lamondi winning at pretty long odds, but doing the job in workmanlike fashion. Ridden by a New Zealand rider, D.M. Walsh, and he's trained by N.D. Eales, who's had the horse up at Ballarat. At Tallack, he's a good racehorse, this fellow. Things just haven't been breaking his way. Michael Clark gave him every chance today, but he just wasn't able to match Mr. Lamondi.